Okay, hello and welcome to Marketing Bigly. I am Mark Vila, and it's time to move on to episode 2. So I started off with episode 1, just a really live intro as I was working on the back end of things for the podcast. So thanks for everybody who's liked the page so far and some followers I've been gaining and so on and so forth. So I appreciate you listening, and hopefully we're going to learn something together. So what is today all about? It's about what is marketing. I think it's important to start off with a very specific definition of how I would define marketing, and that's going to be based on my knowledge, my experience, things that I've read and learned over the years of being in marketing myself, and then just what I consider to make sense. I put logic and science into marketing all the time, and I think my definition has to do with that too. So I'm going to go ahead and define what marketing is, and then we're going to break down that sentence into the various little pieces, and then at the end, I'll talk about what does it mean to be marketing bigly. So that's how we're going to do it today. So what is marketing? I've got my notes here, and I spent some time writing this. And I put, it's a process for creating and delivering a specific... I'll take that back. A process for creating and delivering a valuable message for a specific audience with a definitive goal or goals in mind. Now, with that, there's a lot of words in there, and all of them mean something really important to me as a marketer, and I think to you as you're listening and learning this. So, if you listen to the first podcast, who should be listening to this? I'm going to go ahead and just kind of reiterate a little bit of that. But if you're brand new to marketing or you're just trying to improve your knowledge, then this is a great place to start, I'd say, because I've done a ton of research myself, and I'm going to try to put things together so you can be successful. If you are a marketer right now and you think you're doing pretty well and you want to get better, then we're on a journey together, because every week, every day, I'm learning something new, and I compile it here, and then I share it, and the feedback that you provide back is going to help me to get better. It's going to help you to get better. So I'm going to read this definition again. It's a process for creating and delivering a valuable message for a specific audience with a definitive goal or goals in mind. Now, let's break this down. All right, the first word, the most important word, is that it's a process. Marketing is not just posting an ad. You're not marketing if you go onto Facebook and you just create an ad, or you go into AdWords and you decide for a few Google searches you want your website to pop up. You're not actually marketing. You're paying for some advertising. That's not marketing. Marketing also isn't just saying that you're going to take out a local ad in a local newspaper, or that you're going to do a radio or a TV commercial, or that you've created a Facebook page and now all of a sudden you have a business page, so you're doing marketing. No, it's a process. It is the entire start to finish of creating an end goal. Okay, you're looking to deliver a message to a customer or a potential customer or a listener basically anybody who's from a very specific audience, and we'll get to that. You want to deliver that, and you want to take the entire steps throughout that. So it's not just an email blast, it's not just an advertisement. That's not marketing. Marketing is the process. Okay, so it's a process for doing what? It's for creating and delivering. And that's another really important thing about understanding what really good marketing is that you're not just delivering a message, as in going ahead and buying an advertisement somewhere, or paying for that, or just creating a Facebook page. You're creating and delivering it with a purpose. Okay, the purpose has to do with what the next is what's the message that you want to deliver. Okay, who are you delivering it to is the next part, which is the specific audience, and then a definitive goal. What do you want them to do at the end? So if we want to talk about an example of this going through the process, which is what it is, right? We have to go through the process. So if you are a small business and you're looking to sell something just online through Facebook, you sell maybe a particular type of phone case, or you have a software that you want to deliver to somebody, or you're a small business owner, you're a t-shirt shop. I do I'm in the apparel business, so we talk to a lot of t-shirt shops in our other podcast. And when I look at that and I break that down, I break down the process and what it is and where we're going with it. We're looking to create and deliver a valuable message to a specific audience with a definitive goal. So if you're a t-shirt shop, as an example I've used before in many other podcasts, is that you're going to create and deliver the message for them. So you can start at the bottom, right? What might be your goal? And I actually like to do that, work backwards throughout the definition of what marketing is. I find that's a great way to do it. So I start, what's the goal? Okay, if you own a t-shirt shop, or you're selling art, or you're selling just a product, right? And you've got a goal. What's your goal? Is that you want people to essentially buy your product, right? That's the definitive goal, is you want them to purchase your product. You would like to make some money. That's generally why somebody's going to be doing marketing. You have a specific audience. Now, this is where you have to define some things within your business. And I'll do some other podcasts and helping to talk about defining what your audience is. That's a completely, a whole nother discussion. But within finding a specific audience, you have to narrow down who is going to purchase from you. And I run into this all the time in my day job, per se, where someone will talk to somebody and they'll be in the t-shirt business. Well, who are you going to sell to? Who are you going to sell t-shirts to? Well, what's your audience? Who are you going to work with? And a lot of times everybody. I'm going to work with everybody, right? Anybody who wears a t-shirt is my customer. And although that is potentially true, that's really never true in really good marketing. And you'll notice it on Facebook or on Google or anywhere where you can get targeted marketing. And we'll talk about that if you don't know what I mean about that specifically. But that means that the marketing is going for a specific audience. It's filling a definition. So if you own a t-shirt shop and you want to be able to reach out directly to folks who have potential to buy your t-shirts, you need to define who that audience is. I'll give you a perfect example of how targeted and specific audiences work. Okay, find a good friend of yours that doesn't have a lot of things in common with you. Okay, so if you're really into cars, they're really into golf. If you're really into makeup, they are really into fishing. Whatever it is, you should have a lot of things, that make you friends, but a lot of things that are different. Go ahead and start scrolling through your Facebook feeds together, and other places on the internet, and look at what advertising has come up. It's very different. And even if you own a t-shirt shop, and a t-shirt shop is advertising to you, I should say, then you're going to notice that you're going to receive different advertisements for different types of t-shirts. So if you are really into fishing, you're going to see fishing t-shirts, and your friend who's into golf is going to see golf t-shirts. That's all done on purpose. You're more likely to buy something rather than an ad that says, get a t-shirt for your favorite hobby. Right? That doesn't really target anybody specific, and it doesn't hit a specific audience, which means it's not likely to actually work in the end. You want everything, your entire message, to work. Okay? And that's where we'll move up to the next step. So you have a goal that you want to go ahead and you want to sell your product, right? So you have to find out, well, who am I going to sell to? I make t-shirts, but my t-shirt style is very much, I would say let's say it's very masculine. It's for guys with beards who love America and all this. That's who your audience is. Okay, so that. All right, it's male. It's more than likely going to be males. The designs, they are for kind of bearded Americana, tough type of guys. Who have a little bit of an attitude, and they're gonna like shirts that have that kind of attitude. So that's the shop that you have. That's the t-shirt shop that you have. So your specific audience, you've kind of narrowed it down, and you make that list nice and long and how you would describe this person. And then you have to deliver a message to them. What are you going to say? It's not just as simple as, hey, come buy this shirt. You want to really have a very specific message. And then you have to figure out a way to create and deliver that message. So that's an example for actually selling something, which is why a lot of people are doing marketing. But marketing goes significantly deeper than that. Marketing comes across with elections and voting. They're marketing to catch your vote. Marketing goes along with if somebody wants to pass a specific law, if there's a tax that's looking to be passed in your area, or if they're looking to build a highway in a specific area of town and they need your vote. There's marketing to attempt to persuade you or to get your attention. And that's what marketing is. It's always the process of creating and delivering the valuable message to a specific audience with a definitive goal. And I think that's really the whole point of this episode, is just understanding what that is. I'll probably do episodes on each of those individually, but I hope the way I explained it today really gets it down for the folks who are new to marketing. If you're already in marketing, I would challenge you to write your own definition and not just Google search the definition of marketing, but do that as well. So write down your own, Google search what marketing might be, and then really define it for what makes you a marketer. I'm goal driven when it comes to marketing. I think it's important to have a goal and then go ahead and figure out how you're going to achieve that goal, and then actually have results with numbers. That's really important. It's not about feelings, it's about numbers. And then write down a plan that works for you if you're a marketer. But I would suggest that if you took a look at the way I wrote it and you write yours similar to that, you're going to find that whenever you're creating marketing content, a marketing plan, whether it's really large scale like the entire business marketing plan for your entire company, or it's just specific to a marketing campaign, that if you follow a definition like this, it actually pushes you through creating something really great that will work and work more and have more likely to work, really. We'll talk about failure in marketing in another episode. So next and last to finish is just what's marketing bigly? Why did I come up with this name? A few people have asked me that already, and it's pretty simple. It's just it's a story that kind of stuck in my head, and I think it's funny, and I think it's just funny, and that's oftentimes what motivates me to do things. Is just things that make me laugh, and they continually entertain me, if nobody else. But so election season, a couple years ago, it's election season. And there's a debate, and you've got Donald Trump up there debating, and he says something to the effect of, and I'm going by memory here. It doesn't matter to research the exact order of events, but just how I remember it happening is he says something to the effect of, we're gonna win, and we're gonna win bigly, right? And that's how he says it. And so then now we have this whole, headlines, news cycle, people talking heads debating, people in workplaces talking about, is bigly a word? Is this guy an idiot? What's he saying? All of these things. And then you've got people on the other side, you've got linguists saying like, no, he says big league. He just squeezes it together. And I saw a piece where, some linguist took the audio and dissected it and stretched it out and found the syllables, all this funny stuff. But anyway, I just found this whole hubbub to be funny. But I also just liked the word. I thought it was I like the concept of doing things in the big leagues. As if that's how you would want to play baseball, right? I think about it that way first. If you are in the little leagues, your goal is to get to the big leagues, right? More than likely. And if you're doing something not great, you want to do it as if a big league player does it. How does a big league player do it? I don't know. I don't even understand how they hit the baseball going that fast, but they're awesome at it, and they practice, and they try really, really hard, and they consistently scrutinize themselves and never stop trying. I mean, that's the story of when you think about big league winners, whether it doesn't matter if it's in business or it's in baseball or race car driving, whatever it is, people who win bigly, who are in the big leagues are tenacious. They work hard. They have a great work ethic. They really look for results, and then they do something about it if they're not getting the results they want. And I liked all of that together. And then, so I put a funny word with this concept that I really like that kind of surrounds how I feel marketing should be done. And here we go. I've got Marketing Bigly, and I like the way that it flows off my tongue. And I also think that it's just kind of a funny word to say, and it's a funny thing that hopefully I could put some humor in this podcast, not just with the name, but in general as I open up to all of you who are listening. So, thanks for listening. What I would say is, if you choose to do some homework, I always like leaving you with something to do after you listen to a podcast. And if you are a small business owner or who you have no experience in marketing, or you are a marketer, the homework I would have to say would be to attempt to rewrite how I wrote my definition of marketing. And then I would want to understand the steps. And in the definition, I think it's important for it to be written down as almost as a sentence that contains steps. So it starts off with what it is and it ends with what's going to happen. I like that in a definition of marketing. So write down what I wrote and just make some notes to yourself on how you would turn this into something that you would do with your business and what lesson you would learn from this. And then also feel free to just look up other definitions of marketing. I'm sure there's tons of marketing associations and stuff like that, and everyone's got their own definition. If you want to do that too, but it's important to understand where we're coming from. So I'm going to repeat it one last time. This way, if you want to take notes, it is a process, marketing, and Marketing Bigly is this too, but marketing is a process for creating and delivering a valuable message for a specific audience with a definitive goal or goals in mind. So process, creating, delivering, valuable message, specific audience, definitive goal, and there you go. You've got a successful marketing campaign or a successful marketing plan. So that's all I'm going to talk about. That's all it's going to be. We're going to interact with today, this evening. I'm going to go ahead and tell you some various places where you can listen to this if you're finding it in one place and you want to look at it in some other places or listen to it in some other places. So currently the video feed is on Periscope, on YouTube, and Facebook Live, and then they'll be saved to watch at a later point in time. The iTunes podcast is it's in a stage with iTunes where it might be live by the time you're hearing this, depending how quickly you're listening to it, if you're listening to it live. And then it'll be on the other podcast networks as well as I continue to grow and move and change this. You can also check out marketingbigly.com. The podcast will be available to listen right on the website if you prefer to listen to it in a browser. So whatever it is, check out Marketing Bigly and myself, Mark Vila, on Instagram at Marketing Bigly, Twitter at Marketing Bigly, Facebook at Marketing Bigly, and marketingbigly@gmail.com. If you want to go ahead and just send an email, that's how you want to communicate. And then currently iTunes and probably Stitcher and some others as well, as the feed continues to grow and the approval of the podcast continues to go out and basically getting approved in networks. So that's where we are. And we're going to continue to grow and add and do a whole bunch of stuff together. So as you listen to this podcast today, it's going to be the beginning of a journey for you and me. And I appreciate you listening and joining with me. So thank you very much for listening to Marketing Bigly. This is Mark Vila, and have a great day.